City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. A new carved waharoa or entranceway was unveiled today at a special ceremony at Rotorua. Local MP encourages the teaching profession to apply for the Prime Minister's Education Excellence Awards. And Mig's Gym celebrates gold medal success at the recent National Championship. A new carved waharoa or entranceway was unveiled today at a special ceremony at Rotorua. The waharoa is an exact replica of an original waharoa which stood in Te Whakarewarewa Valley for nearly 100 years. The historic carving tells the story of Hinimoa and Tutanekai, one of Rotorua's most well-known Māori legends. It became an icon of cultural tourism in Rotorua and New Zealand, with thousands of visitors having their photo taken beneath it. The new waharoa has been created by carvers at the New Zealand Māori Arts and Crafts Institute and is part of a series of cultural events and projects that celebrate the Institute's 50th anniversary of its establishment under an Act of Parliament in 1963. A Movies in the Park night is also on this weekend as part of the 50th anniversary celebrations. For more information, visit tapuia.com. A new schools art project is well underway involving 5 Eastern Rotorua primary schools and the creation of murals to be displayed at Rotorua International Airport. RDC Community Arts Officer Mark Spikerbosch says the project focuses on the district's cultural heritage and natural environment.
Well, the driver was to give our airport some look and feel. And the idea was, hey, why not have our primary schools that are under the flight path do their thing? So it's their drawings, it's their work. I'm just here to kind of make sure not too much paint goes on the floor and that kind of thing.
I don't think the schools will be happy about that.
No, so far so good actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many primary schools are involved, Mark?
We've got 5 schools. Yeah, we've got Linmore, Whakarewarewa, Owhata, Whangamurino, and who's our other? Rotorua. Yeah.
Now it looks like you guys are doing a pretty good job. So what's the mural? What's the theme or the story behind it?
It's presenting our school and what Owhata is really about.
Cool. And now those 3 guys there playing rugby, is that your schoolmates?
Yes.
Who are they?
They'll be the rugby players.
Do you want the name?
Are you guys pretty excited that your mural's going to get put up at the airport?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Mark, those kids are pretty enthusiastic about doing this mural. So how did they get chosen to come onto the airport project?
Well, every situation's different. In this case, I believe that they have electives on a Tuesday and a Thursday afternoon. And these were the children that would rather not be boxing and that kind of thing. And no shortage of enthusiasm. Absolutely not fizzing with enthusiasm. It's something I kind of have to steel myself for a little bit when we start painting in a classroom environment.
The children's murals will be installed at the airport early next year. Local MP Todd McClay is encouraging people to nominate Rotorua's outstanding teachers and education groups for the Prime Minister's Education Excellence Awards. Mr McClay says there's a lot of talented teachers and education professionals in the Rotorua electorate, and it's important we recognise and encourage their contribution. He says the awards cover early childhood education all the way through to secondary schooling and collaboration with tertiary providers and employers to create pathways for young people. The 4 main categories in the awards are excellence in governing, excellence in leading, excellence in teaching and learning, and excellence in engaging. The category winners will receive $20,000 and the supreme winner will receive an additional $30,000. Entry forms are available at pmawards.education.govt.nz. Volunteers and people who work with volunteers are invited to celebrate this year's Volunteers Day with the RDC. Community Officer Carol Parker says the event is on Thursday, the 5th of December, and will involve sharing expertise and skills. She says a lot of the focus will be around the 3 R's of volunteering. For more information on the Volunteers Day event, visit rdc.govt.nz or give Carol a call at the council. In sport tonight, Mid-Island Gym Sport are celebrating their success at the recent New Zealand National Gym Sports Championship in Napier. Head coach Lynette Farkash says the local team won 5 gold medals at the event, with many gymnasts achieving personal bests.
It was very, very exciting. It was in Napier. There were 3 medals in trampoline and 2 in tumbling titles. It was the first time that tumbling was at the national champs, and so to get 2 placings at nationals was really, really special for the athletes. All areas from New Zealand there, plus we had some Australians come over. There was a Trans-Tasman competition that went on at the same time, so our athletes got to watch these like top Australian athletes as well as our own top athletes that are actually at the moment at the World Games in Bulgaria.
So you've had quite a bit of success with medals. Can you tell me which ones?
Yeah, we have a couple of girls that did very well, and the boys too. Michael Stanley get 4th, Damien Hewitt get 2nd and 3rd, Madeline Whiting getting the podium with the medal also, Megan Dorrell and Isabella Brett. All of them get, and Ruth Vituini. All of them get medals and we're in the podium, so for the club and for the city I think it's very important.
To your weather update now, Rotorua. Tonight will be fine with light winds and an overnight low of 5. Tomorrow, Friday, fine with light winds, a high of 20 and a low of 7. And the outlook for Saturday looks fine as well, with light winds, a high of 21 and a low of 9. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, variable 5 knots with waves less than half a metre and mainly fine. Still to come in tonight's program, we hear from Inspector Ed Vandenbroek about the White Ribbon Appeal. Community worker Heather Pearson has news about this weekend's White Ribbon Ride, and we're at Waiariki to find out about next weekend's Revolver Festival.
Well, throughout New Zealand, the 25th of November is White Ribbon Day, and it's all about trying to stem the endemic tide of violence towards women. Now, I want to quote here some statistics, if you like. It says violence is endemic within New Zealand, with 1 in 3 women experiencing violence from a partner in their lifetime, while on average 14 women are killed each year by a member of their own family. These are horrific statistics, and endemic's probably a pretty powerful word, but you can see why. With me is Inspector Vandenbroek from the Rotorua Police, who along with his team obviously very often have to be sort of picking up the pieces, but they're more involved these days. Ed, thank you for joining us. We have a major problem throughout New Zealand, don't we? And obviously Rotorua, we'll talk about that shortly, but it's pretty serious stuff.
That's right. Family violence is not okay. We treat family violence very seriously within police. We act positively on all family violence incidents that are reported to us, and we will certainly charge people if there has been an offence taken place where violence has been used against women.
Now, I notice also just in more recent times, Judge Peter Boshier has come out and said that, and he's actually the chairman of the White Ribbon campaign, to say, hey, we really do need to do something, and we've got the pledges from men up and down the country, etc. So things are starting to move and people are taking it seriously. What's it like for you guys on the front line to have to tackle some of this?
Well, as you can imagine, we're dealing with a wide variety of domestic assaults that are reported to us. So we're talking at one end, at the extreme end, where people get seriously injured or worse. And at the lower end of the scale, we have verbal domestic arguments reported to us. So we're dealing with a wide variety of incidents that we deal with. From our perspective, we want to know about all the family violence incidents, even if it's only a verbal argument, because that allows us to put interventions in place with those families at the very earliest opportunities. We don't want to know about it right at the end. Well, we do want to know about it, but we want to know about the ones that are just start off as verbal.
You'd prefer to be done out of a job in that sense, wouldn't you?
Well, we'd love to, because it's not, family violence is not okay, and we take a tough stance against it. We don't want to have any family violence reported to us. Let me make that quite clear. And the more instance we have of verbal arguments that are reported to us, it allows us to put steps in place to try and prevent it from escalating to the higher end type of assaults.
And I think that obviously the White Ribbon campaign is a little bit more specific in the sense that it's preventing violence towards women, but it is, as you've alluded, it's very much broader than that. I see you're wearing a white ribbon to endorse the whole thing as well.
Yes.
Coming back to the local side, do we have a problem in Rotorua with violence towards women in general?
Well, unfortunately, we attend probably about 50 domestic violence incidents per week on average. Again, that's right across the scale, from serious assaults through to verbal domestic incidents. So that's a lot of incidents. We get them reported not just on a Friday and Saturday night, 24/7. So it can be a Monday morning, Tuesday morning. We have these incidents reported to us all the time of the week, and we will attend them and take appropriate action. And once we've attended these incidents, we will complete quite a comprehensive report about what's happened at the time, and then we go back to our partners who we work in collaboration with, and we go through every domestic incident, and then at a round table we're able to sit down, see what interventions we can put in place around those domestic incidents that are reported to us, and then put interventions in place to prevent it from escalating, prevent it from happening again.
So it is really a matter of partnering up, and of course while we're here we're going to be talking to Heather Pearson from the Safer Families. She's the Safer Families Coordinator. Pretty important to partner up with people like that so you don't carry the whole load, and neither do they.
Well, we can't carry the whole load ourselves. We are very much in the prevention mode, so that we want to prevent incidents from happening again, but we can't do all that by ourselves. We need our partners, just like we do with the rest of crime. We need our partners, we need our community to step up and take responsibility, and we will do our bits, and we will do it to the best of our abilities, but we need to have our partners in place working alongside us, and then together we can make a difference.
Appreciate what you guys are doing, and obviously we can look at it from the point of view, it's the old cliche really, but so relevant, of putting the fence at the top of the cliff instead of the ambulance at the bottom type stuff.
Absolutely, and that's what the focus is with police.
Sure.
We want to put the fence at the top of the cliff and everything that has a social impact on us.
Sure, appreciate your time.
Thanks,
As we mentioned, the 25th of November is White Ribbon Day throughout New Zealand, and it's been created because there is a problem with regard to a fairly horrific set of figures coming out with regard to violence towards women, particularly on the part of men of this nation. And with me at the moment, for a local perspective, I guess, is the Rotorua Safer Families Coordinator, Heather Pearson. Thank you for what you guys are doing, and it's a pretty important time to lead up to the 25th of November. Again, as we mentioned to Inspector Ed Vandenbroek, there's a serious problem in New Zealand, and Rotorua is no exception.
Kia ora, Wayne. Yes, there is a serious problem in Rotorua. We've got a lot of wonderful organisations that are supporting women and children and men to make a change in their lives, so that's great, but we need everybody's help. It's a community problem.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, of course, to Ed Vandenbroek about the partnering up of things, sitting around the table and saying, hey, how can we attack this thing with strategies? And strategies are important. It's a one-day campaign in that sense, but it's bigger than that. It's an ongoing process, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got two active groups. We've got a mayor-led group called the Rotorua Safer Families Group, on which police sit, and many other government agencies and community organisations. And we also have the Rotorua Rotorua Safer Families Network. So that's people who are doing on the ground, grassroots, supporting women and children and men to make a difference.
Now, because of the increase of violence in general, and obviously it is towards women, and this is what the White Ribbon campaign is all about, what do you see as a social worker in your own role as some of the things that are actually causing that violence to come out? Obviously, we don't want to create a band-aid situation where we put a band-aid over the problem and not dig out the root causes.
It's a multifaceted, complex problem. I think we would have dealt with it by now if it wasn't. It's a huge issue around the world. Some of the problems is though men's attitudes towards women and children. Other things are around people's financial stress, that we know that Christmas and New Year, that time is particularly a time where people can experience family violence because of the financial stress that families are under. We know that redundancies and unemployment, poverty, that affects people's ability to relate to one another in a respectful way.
So there are a lot of triggers, aren't there?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, in terms of the role that you do in your organisation and others, obviously, how can people get involved with this campaign? And part of that, I guess, is having a voice.
Yes, we'd love people to come down to the Village Green on Saturday. We're hosting the White Ribbon Riders. It's the national launch of the White Ribbon Riders. They'll be touring around the country. There's a North Island team and there's a South Island team. So come down, support the kaupapa, bring your family, friends, meet some organisations who are supporting women, children and men in this community. Find out how you can help. There's lots of ways that you can help. Just anybody in the public, general public, can help out.
And if they've got any questions, you're only too happy to provide them with phone numbers and contacts and so on.
Absolutely. Yes, we have.
Well, hopefully it can make a difference. It is a serious problem, but we've got to start somewhere, and we really appreciate the work you guys do. So thanks for your time today, too.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks very much.
Kia ora, I'm here at Waiariki Institute of Technology with Richard and Sue, who are going to be telling me about an event they're organising, a music festival.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. So tell me a little bit about your involvement with this festival.
Sure. Well, I've put together a lineup for the festival, and the lineup is it's based around our students and youth, actually.
And what's the festival called?
The festival is called Revolver Music Festival, Music and Creative Arts Festival.
And why have you chosen that name?
Well, it's, apart from the gun, it's about the second definition, and we see as being creative people that the creative process evolves and revolves. So, so that's the reason why it's called Revolver. Yeah.
And how many years has this kind of been a dream of yours to see this come true?
Well, quite a few actually, to be honest. But with the team around Waiariki now, and of course with the help of Rotary Sunrise, it's been made very, very possible indeed. And of course our friends from Mains in Auckland.
And so why did you want to get involved? Because you're involved with Rotary, aren't you?
Yes. Oh, I think it's mainly because we like to be involved in community events, and we're very much in favour of supporting youth here in our community, and we saw this as an opportunity where it could grow into an annual event, become something major on the Rotorua calendar, and it's an opportunity for youth to showcase their talents and also for some fundraising for our community.
And a great way to get those two things working together, fundraising and lifting the spirits of youth, who no doubt will enjoy being able to come and listen to some music. So tell me about the artists.
Well, the
and performers, isn't it?
Yes, well, performers and artists, yes, indeed. The lineup has been developing as we go. We've got some, well, apart from the Academy of Singing and Music performers, we have the bands from Mains coming down, Music and Audio Institute of New Zealand. They are coming down. And we also have the Pacifica Beats winners for this year, who are from this region, Strangely Arousing. And also the regional Rock Quest winners, Aftershock. Right. But we also have some wonderful local talent. Elena Powley's going to be joining us. and some former members of the Academy who are now in 1814 are going to be joining us as well. So from 1814 we're going to have a good part of that band coming.
Yeah, so there'll be some people that'll be very excited about coming down because they're a very popular band.
Yeah.
They've played at Ragamuffin here before, and I know they do have connections in Rotorua, so it'll be lovely that they can come and give back to the community like that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. How do you feel about those kinds of calibre of musicians being involved?
Oh, I think we're very lucky. Often they become so successful they move away and then we have to pay huge sums of money to actually see them again. So this is very good value at $15 a ticket, and it's very much attracting youth. They would have all finished their school exams and Wairiki exams, so great time to come out and celebrate and have some fun.
And just once again, when will it be?
23rd of November.
And it's from 1 to 6 p.m.
From 1 to 6, come out here to the campus?
Yes.
And bring your party shoes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both very much for your time.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful, that was amazing.
Thank you.
So Stella, you're going to be part of this festival coming up. How excited are you?
I'm super excited. It's so exciting because we do have bands coming from Auckland who study the same course as us, so I think that's a real exciting factor of the festival, and also having something in Rotorua because there aren't many. So.
No, there's not, but hopefully more to come. And that was an original piece, wasn't it?
Yes, that was.
Lovely. Can you tell me the inspiration behind that song?
It's pretty much inspired by that really deep, meaningful kind of love.
And you can hear more from Stella Morris at the Revolver Music and Creative Arts Festival on at Wairiki next Saturday, the 23rd. The event starts at 1 p.m. If you have any news or an event that we can support, give the station a call on 07 3488 984 or email news@tv.rotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight. For Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.